My name is Solomon. My name is Solomon. I've had chronic pain since March of 1995. That's 20 years. I have a few notes here, but I'll mostly be speaking from the heart. I've been on disability now since 1997. Unable to work, unable to function. My life was unbearable. My pain level was regularly at a 7 or an 8 on the 1 to 10 pain scale that doctors use in hospitals. My diagnoses they included fibromyalgia, major depressive disorder, PTSD, anxiety, neuropathy, primary Raynaud's phenomenon, which is reduced circulation in the hands and feet, low blood pressure, and frequent bouts of suicidal ideation. I had such a low quality of life. It almost every day I would think about ending it. Most of my energy went towards not screaming or crying because of how bad I hurt and how tired I was. I was regularly confused and overwhelmed, just even by simple tasks. I could be standing in the kitchen doing something, stop halfway through for a rest, and forget what I was doing. So that resulted in a lot of burned dinners and a lot of half-finished tasks. And then trying to start it again or start it all over again just added to the sense of depression and overwhelm and failure. I really felt like a failure as a person. It was extremely difficult to parent my 2 daughters. It was extremely difficult to help them when they needed help. And I wasn't doing so hot helping myself either. It was difficult to go get groceries, even in the car. I found grocery stores overwhelming. The lights, the sound, anxiety, other people. It was just too much for too long. It felt like I could never, ever get enough done. I wanted to live in a clean environment, but I couldn't do it myself. I often felt confused and uncertain in social situations and at home. They call it brain fog or fibrofog, where you just can't think clearly. It's sort of like trying to run a marathon through a swamp while all of the other marathoners are running on a nice cushy track. You know, just can never catch up with what other people are doing. I was on methadone for pain control for 15 years through my doctors. It was 30 milligrams a day, and after, only a couple of years on it, the maximum dose, which is 30 milligrams a day, just wasn't enough. My pain was regularly at a 7 or an 8 on the 1 to 10 pain scale, and there was nothing that they would do or could do to help with that. I started coming down to Mexico in the winter because warm weather made me feel better, but it increased my sense of isolation because I had such a hard time making new friends. I didn't have the confidence to go and meet somebody and see, who they were and if we would be a good fit as friends. Really, I had to wait for people to come to me, and that takes a long time. I also had to learn another language, which was hard because I kept getting confused. This last year was probably the worst, the last 2 years, I suppose. My neighbor had to take care of me sometimes and cook for me. One of my daughters had to come help around the house when I was in the States. In the U.S., I get health care from the VA, and I had appointments constantly, and they couldn't really do much. They would send me to physical therapy, but that wouldn't help because that wasn't the problem. The problem was that I hurt all the time, and I didn't sleep very well. I was on a lot of medication, and each medication has its own side effects, and the side effects sometimes required other medication to counter those side effects, and it was pretty crazy. I couldn't go very far from my pharmacy, and the bag of pills was this size when I arrived here. It was, you know, about the size of a loaf of bread, maybe a little bigger, one of those wide loaves of bread. So that was before. And now, here we are, about, 5 weeks after treatment. I did the flood dose, and then 5 days later, I started on the CKBR-12, 2 pills daily. And I have to say, I feel amazing. I have never been this happy. I have never been this healthy. I ran on the beach with the dogs one day, about day 10 or day 13 after the initial flood dose, for half an hour. I hadn't run in 20 years. Like, I wouldn't have been able to do it. And I was so excited that I ran for 30 minutes, and it was a little too much. It really was. But it only hurt for 3 days. Before the CKBR-12, before the treatment, it would have taken 10 days or 2 weeks to get back to normal because my body didn't heal itself well. And it was only 3 days. And I was happy the whole time. I was like, look, I have pain because I was running. And that didn't ever happen before. So it's absolutely amazing. My depression is gone. My post-traumatic stress disorder is gone. I've been in a couple of situations where there was a loud noise behind me, or someone came up behind me and startled me, and I did not have the elevated adrenaline for the next 24 to 48 hours like I used to. I don't have nightmares anymore at all. I'm not taking most of my medications. I don't need them. I think the only thing I'm still taking is Tylenol and Seroquel for sleep. That's it. And I've even reduced the dose of both of them. So I'm taking so many fewer medications, and I'm really happy. I don't have to worry about when the pharmacy is going to be ready. I don't have to worry about running out before I get my meds. I don't. I have this amazing freedom and this amazing life. And I'm in awe. I've reconnected with my spirituality and deepened it. I've reconnected with both my family back home, my old friends, and even started to make new friends already. Friends of friends that I've wanted to be friends with for years but couldn't before because of the anxiety, or because it used to be that if I made a plan to go out to dinner, let's say, with somebody 3 days from now, I don't know on that day if I'm going to have enough energy to actually go out and have dinner with them. Maybe I don't feel so good. Maybe I feel sick. Maybe I'm depressed. So I would cancel. So it's been very hard to make new friends when you feel terrible all the time. And now it's easy. I used to have trouble talking on the phone. It caused anxiety. And now I don't. Talking on the phone is easy. I can get all kinds of things done. Even mildly anxious situations aren't terrible anymore. It's absolutely amazing. I can't say it enough times how happy I am all the time. Someone that I knew died a couple of weeks ago, somebody I cared about a lot. And sure, I cried, but it wasn't the same kind of crying. It was short bouts of crying, and then I could be happy again. Before the CKBR-12, I used to look at my dog and feel a moment of happiness, and then I would see in my mind, it would change it to her decaying body. It was terrible. And so it sucked out all the joy. I couldn't get joy from situations that most people would normally get joy. I was that depressed. And now I look at my dog and it's just happiness. She's happy, I'm happy. It's wonderful. It's absolutely amazing.